Hi. Oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Kim Barefoot in the Kitchen. This is my fake cooking show where we cook real good food for real good people in my real small kitchen. Today is also Sunday, which means it's Long Run Sunday. I use the Nike Run Club app, and it reminds me every Sunday that I need to run at least a 5K on Sunday. So today was actually a longer long run because I'm training for a half marathon. Whether that will happen or not, because it's COVID, right? I don't know. But I thought, I'm not going to give up on my training plan just on the off chance that I get to run it. I want to be ready. I want to do a good job of running that half marathon. So I was, I don't know how far in, 10 kilometers probably. And I thought, 10 kilometers is what I usually do, so we can quit here. And then, interestingly enough, it was a guided run from the Nike Run Club app, which is awesome. I hope you guys are using it if you're runners or you want to be a runner. Anyway, he came on and he was talking about not quitting. And then he said, what would happen if you don't quit now? What would happen if you see this to the end? And I thought, yeah, right. Let's do this to the end. Let's do 13 and a half kilometers because that was the goal for today. And I'm really glad that I got that encouragement to keep on going and not give up, because at the end of it, when I finished my 13 and a half kilometers, I was like, yay, awesome. I feel good. I feel like I earned this good feeling right now. I feel like I earned this protein bar that I quickly snacked it down because I was hungry, and my vitamin water. So anyway, where is this going? Whatever you guys are facing right now, whatever you're doing, if you're working on a project, if you're working on learning a new language, oh my goodness, I so get the difficulties there. Oh, I can't tell you how long it takes me to make one answer for the meeting in Lahu. Anyway, I digress. Whatever you're doing right now, you might feel that it's time to give up, and I want to give you some encouragement. Don't do it. Don't give up. What would happen if you saw it to the end? How would you feel? Would you feel like I felt today? Which was really pretty amazing at the end of that run. Yeah. So that's my little pep talk for today. Don't give up on whatever you are facing right now. Keep on going. When you hit a roadblock, when you hit that voice that says, hey, give up right now. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. It's not true. You care, right? And you care enough to keep going and seeing it through to the end. Okay, there's my pep talk. Today we are making veggie burgers. And we're not making them just because I'm vegetarian. We are making them because when I was doing shopping for COVID, when the word came down that we were going to have to go into shelter at home, do your grocery shopping once a week, get somebody else to do it if you have immune deficiencies. I was like, oh my goodness, I need vegetables. What if I can't get to the market? And so I bought frozen vegetables, and then I got them home, and a month later, I haven't used them yet because I remember I don't like frozen vegetables except for spinach. Spinach I can deal with because frozen spinach is good. Frozen spinach, you can throw it into your smoothies, and you've got your iron and your greens for the day. They're also awesome when I make an egg white omelet. If I do, then I'll throw some spinach into the pan, those little frozen pucks of spinach, and let them thaw in the pan, and then you've got eggs Florentine, and that works good. So today we are making veggie burgers with frozen vegetables so that I can get them out of my freezer and feel good about not throwing away food that I have bought. So the recipe that I'm using today is not my own original. We are cooking with Jamie Oliver. Woohoo, Jamie Oliver in the house. And Kim. So my recipe is up here, and that's why I keep looking up here. So Jamie says we need 200 grams of corn, frozen, and 400 grams of mixed peas and broad beans. I detest broad beans. So I am using what I have, which is frozen peas and carrots and corn. You probably have them in your freezer too. And I have some mushrooms that I needed to use up, and mushrooms are awesome in veggie burgers. His recipe doesn't call for mushrooms, but veggie burgers are like the kitchen sink cooking thing, right? Whatever you have in your fridge, you can throw into your veggie burger. Although I do not recommend broccoli and cauliflower. They're sulfurous vegetables. They have such a strong taste and smell to them that it might put you off of your veggie burger, okay? So 600 grams of frozen vegetables, add in your mushrooms, whatever, anyway, 600 grams total. And then we need a half a bunch of coriander. I was like, what is a bunch of coriander? And then he had 15 written by it. So I took out 15 stalks of the coriander that I bought, and I held it in my hand. Here we go. That's what it looks like. So you can, 15 stalks, you can comfortably close your hand in it, and that's what I'm using for fresh coriander. We need 75 grams of flour, and you guys can, Google this and find out what they are in cups if you want. I've got a nice little scale that I use, and that's why I'm using this one in grams today. I said it, 75 grams of flour, and I'm also adding a little bit of psyllium. How much am I going to add? I'll see once I'm mixing it all together. 1 to 2 tablespoons. Why psyllium? Jamie Oliver doesn't call for it, but there is a place here in Chiang Rai that makes amazing veggie burgers. And I was talking to the owner one day about them. Anyway, and she said to me that she is adding extra psyllium to her veggie burgers, and did I notice? And I was like, check. Now I know why these are so moist and good, and they hold together really well and they're firm, because she put psyllium in it, which is a binding agent without taste, so it works in a lot of things. If you have made my flatbread recipe, you know that I use psyllium in that too, and it makes the flatbread so nice and soft and foldable. Okay, our spices, we're using a pinch of cumin. Yay! I love it when cooks write their recipes and they say a pinch of this, a pinch of that, because it means if you love cumin, give it a big pinch. And if you don't love cumin, just give it a small pinch, or you can leave it out. Although I can't imagine a veggie burger without cumin. 1 teaspoon of cayenne. I have the extra hot cayenne, so I will be using less than a teaspoon because it is super hot. 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds and 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds. And that's it. Isn't that so simple? I know, right? So let's get going. Okay, so here I've got my frozen vegetables that are defrosted. Actually, what I did is I put them frozen into my food processor and gave it a blitz to help it to defrost quickly. Okay, and I've also got a package of mushrooms in here that needed to be cooked. So anyway, those have all been blitzed through the food processor already. Looking good. Okay, give that a little bit of a stir to make sure that my mushrooms and my vegetables are all incorporated. I think it looks good. Now, Jamie says that we need to put in our food processor the coriander. So there it goes. And I've got a few stray frozen vegetables. Those are going to go into 75 grams of flour. I am using gluten-free flour. Use whatever flour you want. There we go. That's in there too. 1 pinch of cumin, and there's my I love my cumin, and I don't really know how I feel about sticking my fingers in here. So I'm going to grab my measuring spoon. Think that a pinch probably looks at least like a quarter. No, you know what? I'm a cumin lover. I'll admit it. Half a teaspoon. There we go. And he calls for 1 teaspoon of cayenne, but I know my cayenne, and I know that this one is super hot. So I am going to go with a half teaspoon. And it doesn't fit in there, so we are going to go with 2 1/4. One and just a scant on that one. Okay, and this we are going to put into the food processor and give it a blend. Here we go. Okay, now the recipe said to put in the coriander stems and all. I've got a few stems that did not process, so I think they're probably too woody, and so we're going to take them out. And this is looking like fine powder. It looks good, so we're going to now add our sesame seeds, which is 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds and some sunflower seeds. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of those as well, and then we are going to give it another blitz. Here we go. Okay, it turns out into a fine powder, which we would expect because we added a lot of flour. Okay. Now we're going to add that in to our frozen veggies. Smells pretty good. That coriander is definitely giving it a green vibe. Scraping up some of that flour in the bottom. There we go. Now, let's give it a stir. Now you guys know that I cook pretty much by smell, so I've got to give this a smell and see if it smells like I want it to. I think these are going to be delicious. Now let's add some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper to taste. How much salt and pepper do we want? I think that a half a teaspoon of salt. You see me dipping in twice because I went in with my 1/4 teaspoon measure. Come on. Wow, who would have thought it was so difficult to get? There we go. And I did not think this through, so my pepper is still in the cupboard. There it is. And some fresh ground black pepper. That's not enough. There, that's probably good. And give it a stir. Looks like it's going to hold together pretty good. Now, because there's no raw meat in here, we can taste it at this point. I don't expect it to taste amazing at this point, but we can certainly give it a taste and see if it's got enough salt and pepper and cumin and spice and everything that's nice in it. And my spoon. And just a little taste. Yummy. I'm glad I did not go heavy on the cayenne because that is super hot. Just going to add a little bit more cumin because that's what I like. And I'm cooking for one, so what I like rules in my kitchen. Oh, these are going to be good. Okay, now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of psyllium just to bind in that moisture. Psyllium husk, give it another good stir. I'm excited. And you know what we're going to make next is some vegan mayonnaise, because what is a burger without mayonnaise, right? I'm a mayonnaise girl. Fries and mayonnaise. Oh, wow. I always regret it. After I eat them, I'm always like, why did I think that was a good idea? But man, does it ever taste good. But it's just a lot of fat all at once. Okay, these are ready to shape into burger patties and then put them in the freezer to firm up nice and firm while we zip up some vegan mayonnaise. Doesn't that sound good? Some of you are going, no, it doesn't. Vegan mayonnaise? Trust me, this is going to be awesome. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's shape these. Jamie Oliver says it makes 4. 4 a good size, man. Okay, there's 1. I've got some, you probably can't hear it. I turned the music down a little extra because somebody said that my background music was a little loud. Anyway, I've got some jazz music playing. And I highly recommend jazz music when you are cooking. It just goes super well. Wow, these look so good. I'm making them fairly thick, and I think I'm going to get 5 out of these 5 burgers. I don't know how big Jamie Oliver's burgers were, but yeah, definitely going to get 5, which is good. Extra is always good. And I'm glad I used the psyllium in these because I can see that they are going to hold their shape very nicely with the psyllium. I might even do 2 tablespoons of psyllium next time. Okay, and our last one is going to be massive. Oh, wow. But look at, don't they hold up a nice shape? I'm hungry. I had a few crackers after I came home, so I had a protein bar and some crackers after my run, and that was it. So I'm looking forward to eating these. Okay, they are looking beautiful. Now I'm going to pop these into the freezer to firm up, as I said, and then we're going to go and make some vegan mayonnaise, and then we're going to fry these up. Actually, I'm going to fry one of them up, and I'm going to bake one in the oven and see which one turns out best. Okay, catch you in a minute. Okay, we're ready to make the mayonnaise. Are you excited? I am. I'm super excited. I'm really hoping that this turns out. So I'll read you the list of ingredients. We've got 2 sprigs of onion, half a fresh chili, red chili, half a clove of garlic, 2 heaped tablespoons of chickpeas, 1 teaspoon of English mustard, which is the yellow dry mustard, and I can't get it here. So I'm using whole grain mustard instead. We'll see how it goes. It's not going to be quite as good. That dry mustard is really, man, it's good to cook with. 1.5 tablespoons of sun-dried tomato paste. I also don't have that, but I do have some sun-dried tomatoes in oil that I'm going to use instead. A splash of brandy, and you guys know that I would probably have brandy. I do have brandy. 1 lemon. We're going to squeeze it. We're not going to throw it in whole. And 4 to 5 tablespoons of olive oil. And apparently we just throw it all into the blender and give it a zip. So garlic goes in. And Jamie said to roughly chop. See, he's a guy after my heart, right? Rough choppers. Roughly chop the onion. And I probably should have roughly chopped that garlic as well, but oh well. You know what? It's not too late. I should have it there. There we go. Give that a rough chop. Okay. And we're also going to, it smells good already, roughly chop this fresh chili. Okay. 2 heaping tablespoons of chickpeas. Here we go. There we go. 2 tablespoons of chickpeas. And the 1.5 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. I think that 2 of these are probably enough, and I'm going to just give them a rough chop because they are not delicate little tomatoes at all. They seem kind of firm with the skins. There we go. 1 more. Can't hurt. Might help. The only thing that worries me about this is they do have some skin on them. Probably should have taken that off. Oh well, we can always deal with that later. And my cloth is way over here. Jamie says a splash of brandy. How much is a splash? I'm not going to pour it in because I'm afraid of pouring in too much. Let's see, what would a splash be? I don't know. I think that's a 1/2 tablespoon. We can always add more later if we want. And 1 lemon. This is a large lemon. Get my fork out, my handy juicer, which I think works just fine. You really can get right down to the rind to get all of the lemon out. And then I'm going to just get rid of some seeds. And then the other half. Just scrape out some seeds before we start here. And then we're going to zip all of this together. And then the last thing is 4 to 5 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to add that right at the end. We're going to add it as the blender is still going, as it's still processing. And a couple of seeds that got away, and the rest of it are fine. No. See, go. Hiding in the bottom. You guys don't want to go into that blender, believe me. There we go. What didn't I add? I didn't add the 1 teaspoon of English mustard. This is pretty strong. So I'm going to add just a scant teaspoon. It's easier to add more than take away. That is the truth of cooking. So always go easy and add more later. Okay, here we go. We're going to give this a zip. Okay, this is all blended up. And I'm just double checking to make sure I put everything in here. Onion, fresh chili, garlic, chickpeas, English mustard, sun-dried tomatoes instead of tomato paste, a splash of brandy, 1 lemon. And now we're going to add our 4 to 5 tablespoons of olive oil as it's running. Okay, we're ready to fry these veggie burgers up. I have 3 of them in the oven because I want to try them both ways, see which one works out better. And we're going to fry 2 of them up now. Jamie Oliver says to put some oil in the pan. I'm really trying to cook as clean and eat as clean as possible. And I get enough oil already, I think. So I'm going to spray my pan. And I think it's hot enough. And we're going to put these in. So as you're frying them, go ahead and give them a press with your spatula. Press them into the pan. Don't flatten them out, just press them into the pan. Because veggie burgers are really nice if they're crispy on the outside and then a little bit soft on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on this so that they are nice and warm. And this is my veggie mayonnaise. I really do encourage you guys to make it and try it. It's not your regular mayonnaise, it's more of a spread. It's delicious, it is full of flavor, and it's going to taste really good on these veggies. Let's give them a flip. They brown up super nicely. Give them a bit of a press. I love a veggie burger that's nice and crispy on the outside and then nice and soft on the inside. I want to show you guys these burgers. Oh, they look delicious. And they're a nice size too. They're not all flat and mushy. They're a big serving. That's a big helping. And I think that these are done, and we can plate them up now and taste them. I really hope that these taste good because they're super easy to make. All of the ingredients, I know you've already got in your cupboards. I've been to your houses, I've seen your freezers, and you all have frozen vegetables in your freezer. And they're getting on having some freezer burn. So you can pull them out and try this recipe if it tastes good. I really hope it does. Okay, my burgers are ready. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to try them out. I'm really hoping that it's a good recipe because I need a new good veggie burger recipe, and this one is so fast to make. It takes a little bit of time on the cooking show, but in your own kitchen, once you've assembled the ingredients, which are already in your cupboard, it's just so simple to make up. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Doesn't that look wonderful? Yum, yum. Okay. So it's pleasing to the eye, which you need it to be, right? And I like that it fries up nicely, that it's got that nice crispness on the outside, and I'm expecting it to be nice and moist on the inside. And then I've got some tomato here and some vegan mayonnaise and some Buddy gave me some pickled jalapenos, so I'm going to add those as well. But first of all, we want to try it naked, because that's the true test before you add all the sauces and everything. So here we go. I love how they stay together. Like, you could totally put these on a barbecue and they would stand up. Okay, not such a big bite. Oh wow. Oh my goodness, these are so good. Jamie Oliver, you are a master. My goodness, these are so good, so quick, so easy to make, and you don't need to go to and buy a bunch of stuff from the store to make them. Oh, I'm loving it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I don't often say that. My goodness. The coriander is perfect. The cumin is awesome. They stay together very, very nicely. I might even put in an extra tablespoon of psyllium the next time. But they hold together very, very nicely. Well, let's just add some of the condiments here and see how it holds. Okay, let's add some of the vegan mayo, which really came together nicely, and it's a nice consistency of mayo. Okay, and some fresh tomato, and let's give it a cut. Okay, let's see what it tastes like all together. Brilliant. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I love it when a recipe turns out, and this is just perfect. Wow. The vegan mayonnaise has got a nice little kick to it. Wow. Okay. So please make this recipe. You will not be disappointed. It just tastes like yum. I'm gonna sit down now and I'm gonna enjoy this. I wish I would have made some flatbread. I'm gonna make some tomorrow, and then I can enjoy it with the ones that are in the oven. Use that flatbread as a nice wrapper for these. Spread on that nice vegan mayo that's got such a good taste to it. Some fresh tomato, some fresh lettuce, some of these pickled jalapenos, and you got yourself a meal there. So this is Kim signing off. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, and that way you will get a notice of all of my videos as they come out. I try to put out at least 2 a week. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get it edited. And please leave me a comment, especially if you make this. I've been getting emails and Instagram messages from people that are making these recipes that I put on my YouTube channel, and they're really enjoying them, and it makes me so happy. I love to inspire people. When somebody says, you made this and I made it and it turned out great, or you inspired me to do this or that, it just makes me super happy. And when you make other people happy, you are happy yourself. So it just fills up my joy level an awful lot. So let me know how you did with this recipe. I really hope that you make it.